Hey guys, it's Taylor. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm here to bring you the Guilty Reader book tag. Now, I was tagged for this with Amanda from A Court of Books and Love. Thank you so much for tagging me, Amanda. And let's go ahead and dive on in. So question number 1 is, have you regifted a book that you have received? And I don't think I have. Off the top of my head, I don't ever recall regifting. I know that if I received a book and I think somebody would like it, I would lend it to them or just give it to them, because it's like, oh, I read this, you read it kind of deal. It's not really like regifting, it's giving to let them read, if that makes sense. Have you ever said you read a book when you haven't? No. I am very honest about the books that I have read. Now, I think there was a time when I first started like Goodreads and I was going through and marking books that I have read, and I think at that time it was like you could add an entire series. And along that line is, have you ever told someone that you haven't read a book when you have? No, like I said, I'm pretty honest about the books that I have read. I think I might have like slid my way through a book when I was in college, and they're like, well, you have to read X amount of chapters tonight for the next class, and I just kind of like skimmed those, and I'm like, yeah, I totally read it, when I really didn't. I just kind of skimmed it. But other than that, I don't think I've said that I have read a full book when I actually haven't. Have you ever borrowed a book and not returned it? Yes, I still have the 5th book in the Riley Jensen Guardian series by Carrie Arthur. I borrowed it from my best friend years ago, and I still haven't returned it, but she at this point has told me she's going to give them to me anyway, because she has them all on audiobook and she's just going to give me the physical books once she finds them. So there's that. So it's not really borrowing a book that I haven't returned, because it's mine. Question number 4 is, have you ever read a series out of order? Yes, there is I believe it's the Vampire Huntress series by L.A. Banks. I will have the corrected title posted here, but I did read that book out of order. I read The Wicked. I think it's The Wicked, which is the book, and then I do also remember reading The Damned. The Damned was the first one that I read, and then I saw The Wicked, and I read them both. And I think The Damned is like 6 or 7, and I think The Wicked is like 4 or 5. I don't know the order, but I did read that out of order. But I did really like that series. I think that's a series that I might go back and read it in order. Question number 5. Have you ever spoiled a book for someone? No. Not unintentionally. My best friend here and I go to St. Louis to drop her son off for the flights there, because he has a girlfriend in Utah, and during the rides there, they're usually taking place pretty late at night, and both of us are tired, and the way that we keep each other awake is she has me talk about the books that I've read. And I think I went through the entire Mortal Instrument series and explained everything to her. I think I explained like the entire like universe. I know that I went through the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, as well as the Bane Chronicles. I went through that entire series and told her like all the spoilery stuff. I think I was in the middle of reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I started going through what I knew about that book. But it's not really unintentionally spoiling it for someone, because she asked. She wanted to know what I was reading, so I told her, and she just wanted me to keep talking about it, and so I did. I pretty much ruined the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles for her if she ever wants to go back and read them on her own. Question number 7, have you ever dog-eared a page in a book? Yes, I think I used to dog-ear pages before I had bookmarks. I think I was in high school and I was carrying books around, and I didn't really have bookmarks, like the official bookmarks. I would use like scraps of paper, or if I didn't have time, I would just dog-ear the book and shove it, in my purse and continue on my way. But I did, yeah, that was really the only time I dog-eared. I don't dog-ear anymore. That's a lie. I dog-eared Stage Dive when I started it, but I dog-eared Lick, which is the first book in the Stage Dive series, when I started that, and then I dug out one of my bookmarks because it bothered me. Question number 8. Have you ever told somebody you don't own a book when you do? No, I'm pretty honest about the books that I own. I might have mistakenly been like, yeah, I totally don't own that book, and then I'll be like, yeah, I do. but because I have so many books, I kind of forget what I have. So if I forgot anything, it's by mistake. It's not on purpose. Question number 9 is, have you ever skipped a chapter or section of a book? I don't think so. Not on purpose. I know that towards the end of the Fangirl book by Rainbow Rowell, when Kath would be reading her fan fiction to Levi, I skipped that because I have Carry On and I don't really want to spoil anything for myself. So I would skip over that, and that's just because I, didn't want to spoil anything from Carry On for myself. And then question number 10, have you ever badmouthed a book that you actually liked? I mean, I liked Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde, but it's not my favorite. There are so many issues with it that if someone asked me my opinion, I would probably badmouth it. But I think as a reader, we all kind of give constructive criticism to the books that we like. I know that one of my favorite series is the Immortal Instruments series, and there's a lot of issues with those books, but I do really like them. And I think with this booktube review community, we do have to constructively criticize these books and just give our opinions, and that does end up sounding like we're trash talking one of our favorite series, but we're not. We're just giving our opinions. It's not something that we do out of hatred. I think, for me, I can't say we, I mean me. But yeah, I don't intentionally trash talk a book that I like, unless I do see a lot of problems within the writing style or the way a character is portrayed and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really the only way that I would trash talk a book. I generally don't. So that is the Guilty Reader tag. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I will have all the people that I have tagged down below. I will also give a shout out on Twitter so you know that you were tagged. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye!